So, good evening, great evening, and welcome back to another podcast episode of Seeing Light Through Darkness. I am your host, Kylan, better known as Kai, and with me again this evening is Miss Tequila, aka Kiki.
Hey.
uh, all right. So Mo couldn't be with us tonight, but that is okay. We will definitely miss her this evening. Definitely miss her. All right. So let me just let the listeners know real quick before we get into our topic in our discussion for this evening. You can find this podcast, Seeing Light Through Darkness, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. So just look for Seeing Light Through Darkness by My Mental Space. And you can also find us on Facebook at My Mental Space, as well as Instagram and Twitter at My Mental Space 21. That is the number 2 and 1. And last but not least, on YouTube at My Mental Space. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest content. All right, so it has been, I had a day today, actually. It has just been one of those days, and just so happened, the topic of this evening, self-care. So very appropriate for me today.
Yes, me as well. And that's funny that both of us had a day on self-care day. This wasn't even planned, guys. Just let that be known.
I know, like, it's just, and we're not the only ones. It's, it's a lot of other people, I don't know. It's just one of those seasons, in that time. So, trying to just flow through and get through everything, in a positive manner. It can be a challenge at times, but like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to discuss the topic on self-care, and I was thinking, like we're discussing right now. It's just just what a coincidence, and I wanted to, discuss the importance of self-care, why it's important for us to do self-care, the different things that we can do to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And when do you feel like it's necessary? So why, like, for you, Kiki, like, why, like, what makes self-care so important? Why is it important for you, to prioritize self-care?
For me, because most women think, self-care is just getting your nails done, get a massage. That's cool and all. However, I feel as though we need to improve our physical and mental health. That's, to me, self-care.
Right.
And in that, if you work on your inside and your outside, it's going to help you with anxiety, depression, stress. It's going to help improve your concentration, because people not knowing, not practicing self-care gives you a mental block. So you're not able to improve your concentration because you have everything else in your mind. And especially us women, we have everybody else's situation on our plate. And we don't, I'm going to say it, we don't necessarily take care of our own. We put our own issues at the back burner and put everybody's first. But when we stop doing that, limit doing that, because we're not going to completely stop. But when we
Right.
limit doing that somewhat, it will definitely help us improve our concentration, minimize the frustration and anger, and it definitely increase our happiness and energy.
I definitely agree. Right.
Hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, I think, that would be my definition, of self care. Just mentally and physically taking care of myself, whether that's making sure I'm eating right, getting enough um, rest and exercise. And sometimes, depending on what's going on, because each week and even each day is not the same. So, just depending on with me,
Hmm.
for me, it's like if I'm having a, you know, one week maybe a little busier than the last or the next, and it's like just making sure it can get me thrown off with even eating, making sure I'm eating right,
Right.
getting my fruits and vegetables and vitamins and things like that, and exercise. So sometimes I can get a little thrown off schedule, but I I've gotten into the habit to where, after a certain time, I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm going too long. I'm not. I can feel the start of me stretching myself. So that is when that's kind of my body giving me a warning.
Right.
Like, we're not shut down yet, but you know, we're giving you a warning. So
Exactly. Adjustment
I
needs to be
find
made.
this. Yep, yep. And even, trying not even trying to wait till I get to that point, but like I said, with sometimes just depending on your schedule and what you have going on during that time, it can just get thrown off, and we have to just make sure and keep in mind that, like, okay, I understand we want to take care, of our families, we have to do this, we have to do that, but none of those things, if you don't take care of yourself,
Hmm. You
you
can't
know,
take care. You can't take care of nobody else.
and especially with trying to take care of a family.
Right.
So I think, and like you said, of course, going to get your nails done, your hair, whatever, which are all relaxing, and that does help. That
Hmm.
does help to at least get your body relaxed, especially getting massages and things,
Right.
like that. Um, but just, catching ourselves before we even get to the point of where we're just burnt out,
Hmm.
um, as much as possible.
Right.
Um, and people don't realize that what we eat, our intake has
Hmm.
a lot to do with even the energy um, that we need
Right.
throughout the day.
Right. Some of the foods that you're eating, they have all these hormones in it, and then they're not giving you the energy your body needs. You're feeling sluggish. So you definitely have to watch the foods that you're eating. That definitely plays a part.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And another thing, going back to, mental, we spoke a little bit about physically, but mentally is, um, I'm finding a lot, you know, I'm finding that the company that you keep,
Mm.
um, can also, factor into that, because when you're around, you're not dealing with, like we mentioned, when we want to do for other people and, try to
Right.
take care and make others feel happy or whatever. Sometimes people can drain you, and they're not pouring into you like you're pouring into them. So I think, just kind of, again, that goes back to setting boundaries, and
Right.
um
You have to
You
have
know, just
awareness of who's there for you and who's
yeah,
not.
like it's like you have to set those boundaries to
Mm-hmm.
you know, making sure that, again, because that drains you as well, so that's using and you're exerting energy there, and that's a lot mentally. That's
Oh,
a
yes.
lot, you know.
Yes.
So I think that we have to be careful with that as well, because dealing with people who constantly trigger you,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, not pouring into you or being respectful or treating you the same way that you're treating them, that's what we call toxic. So
Right.
to me, that is part of, you can us contributing to our self-care, just making sure that you know um we're just being aware and being careful, you know with the company we keep, people
Right.
we call people we call friends, or even with family. It's just, you
Mm-hmm.
know that affects you, that can really, really affect you mentally and physically, because
Exactly.
like you said, stress, mentally, if you're not well, whatever, that starts to take over on other areas or parts of our bodies.
Right. People don't know stress plays a major role in weight gain and everything.
Right.
Yes. Yes. And then too,
Right.
like you were saying with the boundaries, you have to be aware once, let's see, because eventually you're going to grow as a person. And when you
Mm-hmm.
do, see the other people are so used to you doing for them, then you get to a point to where you're not going to do it anymore. They're setting boundaries. So you have to be aware and of what you will and will not tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely important.
Yeah. Because it's like, ugh,
Hmm.
I've mentioned in some of our previous shows, where we talk about, dealing with, you know, just things, family things, things that, we just sweep under the rug and just, you
Right.
know, let it be and move on. And then not realizing that in the long run, a lot of those things, not all, some
Hmm.
things, you can just say, I will let that go because it's not affecting me. It's not playing a major part. It's not, but you have your bigger issues to where, we're sweeping those under the rug. And then
Hmm.
when you finally get to a point where now, you're starting to talk and address things within the family, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to have a healthy relationship um, with your family. You want to be able to
Right.
get along with your family. You want to be close. You want to be there for one another.
Hmm.
But I think, like I was said, that I'm, personally going through that, which is a good thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it can be draining because,
Hmm.
again, you haven't dealt with, I mean, you're talking about not months but years of things,
Right.
so I it's moving, it's, baby steps, and I'm
Hmm.
just glad that it's happening or whatever. um but I've and then just dealing with situations with, like we mentioned before, people, associating with certain people,
Hmm.
dealing with just different friendships, relationships in general. It's like,
Right.
I've really needed to focus on my self-care um within these last couple of weeks.
Mm.
Really. And I'm talking about just taking a time out. Like, I don't want to think about anything, and with the kids' birthdays coming up. So now, on top of life, you having to plan a party. And it's like every time you turn around, you're paying for this. Something that has to get paid for. And,
Right.
so it's
Right.
like, no, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with it. My brain needs a break.
And it's
Just
nothing wrong with that.
right. I'm
Hmm.
like, your brain, you may feel like your brain can keep going for, a little bit more, whatever. But I'm telling you right now, mine is shutting down.
I do not blame you. And that is definitely okay. And the fact that you realize, okay, I need to take a break, that's good because most people don't even realize that until it gets to a point they get burnt out and then they end up falling out or something, have to go to the emergency room because now their
Hmm.
health is affected because they've gotten burnt out. And to be honest, majority of it is not for them.
Because of other people.
People,
We
right,
let, right, we let other people, and then just again, when we talk about dealing with other people, just naturally we want to defend ourselves and prove ourselves to people.
right.
And I am realizing too, I don't even care.
Hmm.
Like
Girl, if that
I
ain't a
know,
part of self-care, I don't know what is.
right? I know
Ooh,
who I
child.
am, what I am, what I
Mm,
do, what I say, what I said, what I did. It's like,
exactly.
yo,
And I can
I
I can
don't,
repeat what I said. Baby,
right.
listen.
Like I can't, I'm not even. That's how I know I'm growing up. You hear
Hmm.
me?
Right.
You don't even care. It's like, you. It's like, okay, you address it, and then after that, you're like, you know what? I'm I I'm done. So it's just we just have to be
Hmm.
careful because dealing with each other and interacting with each other as humans, imperfect human beings
Right.
who are all we're all equally just
Hmm. We are imperfect in our perfect
imperfect.
way.
You know what I mean? Just
Right.
imperfect.
Right.
Like equally imperfect. We all have stuff going on. Like
Right.
period. Um and so it's hard because different things
Hmm.
trigger different people.
Right. And you have to
And
be aware of that.
right. And we all cope differently,
Hmm.
whether it's in a positive way or a negative way.
Right.
We're all just trying to cope. At the end of the day, we all just want to feel good and feel free and do what we want and just whatever, but life is just not like that. So,
Hmm.
you know, like I said, whether it's negative or positive, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, I'm just that's facts,
Right.
because negative is turning to alcohol or
Hmm.
anything like that or whatever, but we're all just trying to survive and get by. So it's hard because you just don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know what
Hmm.
you're gonna run into and what this person is going through, and especially with people and strangers that you may come across, and you don't even know them. So it
Right.
is hard. It's hard.
Hmm. And then those people that have that toxic trait, once you get to a point where you can realize, okay, that person is toxic, and you have to separate yourself. And I know it's, at times it's going to be hard because especially if it's a loved one, but you have to realize you come first. I have
Mhm.
gotten to a point where sometimes when people say stuff, I just be like, okay, I said this is going to be okay season for me and going forward. I'm just going to say okay because I'm not going to let whatever you have going on interfere with where I'm going. And it's like when I say okay, people get offended by that and they want to argue. And I still say okay. Then I get to a point as to where, okay, really, that's not working. You really think I'm trying to start an argument, but I'm not. Like whatever you say, it's okay, baby. Because you have a right to feel what you want to feel. But I have a right not to take it, not to
Right.
let it get in my mental. So you have to recognize that. And whatever you need to do to avoid it or remove yourself from it, then you need to do that. And it's okay to do that. You can tell them I love you, but I have to love you from a distance because right now I'm working on me. And that's a part of self care.
Yep. That's taking care of, mental and physical. Like, it's just, we need that. And we have to put ourselves first. We have to. I think if we I think for the most part, if people did, or I wouldn't say the most part, at least help out, help other individuals. If we all really concentrated, let's say we just all concentrated on focusing on our mental, our and our health, okay? Meaning self-care. We're loving on ourselves, we're meditating or do whatever that puts, in a relaxing mood, and, whatever affirmations that you have faith and believe in.
Right.
I think we would, come out better with how we treat one another.
We will, and the world is so much like it'll be such a better place. Just think if everybody helped each other as far as, how are you doing today? Do you need anything? Instead of pouring their problems on you, or can you do this? I need to do, like, it would be so much better. But that's, that might be another time when we come back.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we just have to. Oh, and then on top of that, encouraging one another more too.
Yes.
Into, that self-care. When you recognize it on someone, you see it on someone, just, hey, go ahead and tell them, hey, like I mentioned to you before, you may and more. It sounds like you need to reset, friend.
Right. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm noticing sometimes. That's why I was going to say something else, but before I say that, it's good when you have like-minded individuals in your life, because they're able to tell you that they see something that you can't see. And that's what I was ready to say. It's good when you have people around you that can see what you can't see, because when you're in the midst of your own issues and it's just everyday life just going, you can't see it. But someone else that's like-minded can see that for you. And that's good.
Right. Like, it's just, the world isn't the same that it was a couple of years ago.
Right.
The world wasn't the same a couple of years ago, a couple of years ago prior to that, and so on.
Right.
But the times that we're living in, as you and myself, as millennials, we didn't even, we didn't know that we were going to run into, first of all, a recession, and then a pandemic, and then kind of feels like we up in one now. You know what I mean?
And that takes a toll on people mental.
And then I haven't even named the things in between. We talking about gun violence and all kind of stuff. So it's just like, look, what? I don't even want to ask what else, because I don't want you to show me.
And that's why you have to be mindful too. What you in your ear gate and your eye gate. What are you watching? What are you listening to? That's why I don't even watch the news, because baby, no,
I haven't watched it. I think the last time I watched the news was back in February, when the war started, because you know how you kind of want to get your information, kind of gather,
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel what's going on, just enough.
Right, so you can plan accordingly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially with having, a child in the military, and she's
Right.
calling, and then, it was, and we were going to Oklahoma. We were traveling that night.
Oh wow.
So all that was going on, and we're like, oh God. So, but yeah, it's just too much, and it's so depressing. I had to start, on top of watching my shows, and see, that's another thing. That's another thing with self-care.
Right.
When I do take a break, when I give myself a break, that's when I catch up on shows and things like that. And that's part of my self-care,
And
right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
But I have to mention this because, okay, so you know how it's like 100 shows, and I know everybody can relate to this one. You know how whether it's on Netflix, Hulu, or whatever little things we have to save it into our favorites, and somebody is saying you should watch this, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta finish this up before I start this. So you have all these things saved in your favorites, right? Okay, so I find my mom, she had been trying to get me to watch, because we pretty much watch the same shows and the same type of shows. She was trying to get me to watch, I don't know what Apollo's doing. That's my dog, everyone. But anyway, what was she trying to get me to watch? So,
and I can't help because I ain't even been on Netflix then in a long time. I don't even know what's good on there. So,
just recently, it was she's trying to get me to watch Queens. Okay, and then now these are the two recent ones. Queens, and then the second one was our kind of people. Okay, so I finally get to Queens, and I'm like loving the show. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And then I get to loving the show, and I get the news, oh, the show is canceled. I'm like, what?
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, dang, I don't know why they canceling, because like I can this gets me, I won't even think about what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. Now it's almost like now what I'm supposed to do because it's canceled.
Right. So I'm like, okay, finish that, and I'm like, shoot, the way it ended, somebody else, another network, because it was on ABC, in which, on ABC, you got your Grey's Anatomy and all other shows that come on, which we watch as well. So I finished that, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna move on to Our Kind of People, right? I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, this is dope. I like this one too. Even Brian was like, shoot, I like this. We find out they canceled it.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, yo, I said, you know what? I'm starting to take this personal. Why us brown and black people shows getting canceled?
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
I don't know. It was just, okay, now I'm noticing a trend on my show. So I don't know. I'm not trying to claim nothing, but that's just how it's, going in my brain. So, and it's because, of course, when something's good and you can really relate to what's going on, I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, like, dog, this is, again, a part of my self-care, some recommended shows, and, oh, by the way, now it's canceled. Anyway, so, it was just, that right there, I was a little upset about that. So
You should be. That was a part. That's how you handle part of your mental. So
yes,
like you said, your self care. That was you blocking out everything. That was your shows, and
exactly,
so.
exactly. If one person understands me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Even though I don't really watch it, but I don't even know last time I've been on Netflix. Matter of fact, I had stopped paying it, and then so my daughter was like, "Mom, you're not gonna pay the Netflix." I was like, "You got a job now? Use your card." But I went ahead and paid it.
So I think no. Let me see. I was watching Queens. It was on YouTube TV.
Oh, okay. That's
I
new to
was
me.
watching all kind of people on Hulu.
Oh yeah, I cancel Hulu too. I cancel that. Girl, we
Look,
had Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount. None of that I watched. I'm like,
right. Yeah, if you ain't watching it, I mean that's crazy.
right. Because my self care is a little different. I haven't watched TV in a minute. Mine is the mountain. I like to go to Stone Mountain. And that's what I did this
I'm
morning.
starting doing that too. I used to. I'm start back.
I just up and went this morning. That's why I said it's funny that we having self-care on a day that both of us felt like overwhelmed and stretched. Well, I know I did. So I woke up, because I normally go on Sundays. I woke up, I said, you know what? This is not happening. So I just jumped up and went to the mountain, and I sat up there like 30, 40 minutes.
Just reflecting and breathing.
Girl, it was so peaceful. Meditating. Met someone, like-minded person, a female. Now I got her want to come back. It was her first time in 5 years, but it was just, having a conversation with somebody that seemed like, she had a little bit of sense. I don't mean to offend nobody, but and so it was just, it was nice. It was much needed. It was much needed, and so now it made me so much better. So you just gotta find what works for you.
Right. And just trying to enjoy the journey too. Because my self-care at the end of the day, whatever is going to relax my mind and stop rushing through life. Ooh. And I had to stop that because I'm a stressor, because I like organization. I like control, but sometimes I just have to lose control, like for real. I mean, I believe in God, of course. I make that known.
Right.
But sometimes when I say control, I mean like, because I've gotten to the point where I let God take that wheel. But when I mean by, my little bullet, as far as my definition of control, I'm referring to just organization. Just making sure I just have some type of organization, even if it's not all the way in order, just having, just a good start, just something or whatever, where it's just not too scattered, but just like, okay, it's decent. You know what I'm saying? I can, because before I couldn't even deal with that. It had to be to the T, like
perfect.
Right. So me giving up that control, for me, it was like, okay, all right, Big G. All right, I give you control. I'll just focus on if it's just there and it's neat and decent, and even if it's not, just trying not to stress about it.
Right.
I have to like talk myself down, like talk myself off the edge. So
Ooh, that is so important, and I'm gotten to that point too. I definitely understand.
Right. So that's what I meant by control, for lack of better words, but just a plan, you know what I'm saying? Just just something. That's just like having a plan that you, okay, I'm a do this, or I need that. All right. but I'm not gonna worry about how it's gonna get done.
Ooh, yes, girl, because he gonna handle it. Or whoever your higher power is gonna handle the
Right.
how. You just work on the why. That's what
Right.
I always tell myself.
Right. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I said, whatever because like I said, faith, like you and I were discussing the other day, I
Mm-hmm.
said faith to me just means any affirmation, positive affirmation that you believe in, that you're going to have faith in that affirmation. If you need the affirmation that today is going to be a great day, I'm going to smile, today's going to be a great day. Just
Right.
believe in that and
Mm-hmm.
focus on that and just
Mm-hmm.
set your mind free.
Right. And if you don't have any, I really suggest that you research some on what you know how you want your day to go or your life to go and your goals, and you do that. As for myself, I recorded my affirmations. I used to write them and then I put them in my note section on my phone and used to read them every day. But then I recorded them, so now I listen to them in the morning, at night, and if I have time, I listen to it during the day. So I make it 2 to 3 times a day, but listen to it, because when you do that, then other stuff that come your way, like whatever, because your affirmations, you keep that in the back of your head, so in your mind rather. So you're not gonna let anything ruin that your day, because you're moving towards greater.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like today, I had to get myself together because when I got in the house, I said, I was changing my clothes and I said, so nobody told me I had my shirt on backwards all day.
Stop it, I say.
But it was too late. I was already at home. I was like, oh my God. But you couldn't really tell.
Oh, okay.
But still, I felt like I slighted my outfit.
Mm. My.
So that's what I'm saying. Little stuff. I'm just being real. This is the little stuff that I taught myself through, because those are things that would have brought anxiety,
Mm-hmm. And when you can get through the small stuff, you can definitely get through the bigger stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's major.
So, yeah, self-care is important. We need to continue, trying to setting a good example for others. Like I said, not perfect, but hey, at the end of the day, I say follow what I did yesterday, not what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's once you so funny. Once you get into a habit or a rhythm of practicing self-care, other people would notice that, because you're not going to tolerate certain things.
Yeah.
And people around you going to be like, okay, she is really for real. So, let me step back. They might actually step back themselves, or even come to you and say, I see what you're doing, and I noticed that, we don't talk anymore or whatever, and I respect that. I'm going to let you do you, or how can I help? You'll definitely be surprised. People notice.
Yeah. And I'm even noticing, because my heart is so big and huge, that heart will take over. And sometimes even like a little later, something that may have upset me or whatever, to where, you may have been forgiven of it or whatever. And then later on, when you have time away from noise,
right,
reflect and think better, and that other side kicks in from that heart, snatches that heart back in place. No.
Yes, and we all have that side, y'all. So
you can give a little look. You can come out a little bit, but don't
let it take over you though. But we all have that side.
Right, because logic is coming in now, and I'm like, I need now. Let me take. It's not even that. Reevaluating and reflecting makes me, speaking for myself, makes me upset or makes me more angry. I'm not saying that. It just helps me to step back more and put things in place after I have given my heart. It's like, no, hold on, wait, because now that I think about it, even though I'm not angry about it or whatever, I said, you know what, let that go. but I don't really can't say I trust this all the way, or I just need a break or time, just to kind of make sure I'm good and take care of myself, because this, especially if it's something that you dealt with before, in your past, that and that was a trigger. So that's why I am now. I'm like, I'm at the point where I can't. I people gonna have to earn my trust, like earn my trust first and foremost, and then and just not bring that drama.
And with that being said, that drama is, well, I think this kind of ties in. It kind of does, because it's drama. I would say it's drama. Other people emergency. You can't let other people emergency become your emergency. Because at the end of the day, that's really drama. Because that's issues they have. And to be quite honest, it's okay for people to, I'm not saying like don't talk to nobody. But when people keep coming to you and they keep having the same issues, it's the same emergencies, you give your 2 cents to them, but they keep coming back with the same thing, you can't make the emergency your emergency, because that messes with your mental.
And I don't realize
that.
But Kiki, the thing about that is, you keep coming to me with the same thing. You come to me the second time, I'm gonna refer you back to what I said.
Right.
And I'm not. I'm gonna refer you back to what I said. Because it's gonna be the same thing. And I might tell it to you a third time, but I might. But after that, I'm done with it, because I can't. I've brought you to the water. I've literally brought you to the water. I even put your head down.
Right. I'm helping you drink it, baby. What you want me to do? Yeah, I had to learn that over the years. You cannot, because that'll make you crazy. I mean, I don't want to use the word crazy like that, but it would play a mental. It would play with your mental space, because it's like, how many times I gotta repeat myself? Now you making me go back and question what I'm telling you, but you keep coming to me like, I don't want to be put in that toxic. That's a toxic situation. That is, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, and I know, and look, I've been brought to the water, and I didn't drink before.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us have, actually. We want some reassurance, but it's like when somebody tell you, but then you want to ask again, because you have what you want to have in your mind about the situation. What if that's the case, and you go with that? Don't keep coming to me.
Learn from that, from me being the person on the other end, being brought to the water and not drinking. That taught me. And then when I caught on, like, dog, the person did. All I had to do was this. So it helps you with dealing with other people.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You have to have, it's like you know how the negative and positive goes together. And so the positive is the result, the end result, hopefully it's the positive result from that, which is the learning lesson.
I'm just saying, don't let them keep coming back too many times. But you're right, it actually is a positive, because it definitely okay, no, I can't keep doing this forward.
Right. Because after a while, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get that lesson from whether it's a few different people. Because this person may have told them once or twice, they done. Now they done went to this person, they told them once or twice, they done. Now they at the third person. It might take that third or fifth person before they realize, that it's them.
Right. Or it may take you not answering your phone.
Exactly.
I have learned to do that. And I used to like, oh my God, I don't want to do that, because you just never know. But I'm like, how many times? I can't.
Definitely not answering the phone. And that's what I mean by done.
Like, I cannot. What part of And that's how I know I have grown, because like you're saying, I know you have a big heart and I do too. But at some point, it's like, baby, I have to work on me. I can't keep helping you, and it's not working. Like, it's not going
Yep.
anywhere. And it's
Cause
okay to say that, y'all. And that's not selfish. And us as women
it
think
sure
it's
is.
selfish, and it's not selfish. You're saying about your health, your mental
Right.
space.
It's definitely okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to say it, in a mean way. Just
Right.
be honest, like, and with that too, when somebody is just being honest with you and just
Mm-hmm.
speaking with confidence and whatever, not mad, not with an attitude, not with head rolling, their voice
Mm-hmm.
isn't raised, we still can take that to like it's an offense on us,
Mm-hmm. Right.
because we don't want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And we people have to protect themselves. It's like, I would say anybody, okay, well, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Tell me, if you were her or you were him, and they did that to you, what you did to them, what would you do and how would you feel?
Right. And it's okay to express your feelings. That's another thing, another part of self care. Please express your feelings, your emotions. That's part of talking about things like you were saying earlier, sweeping things under the rug. But if certain situations come up now, not necessarily in the past, talk about it. Because when you hold your feelings in and your emotions, that messes with you. And you, like you saying, when you get back to a point where you sit down and think about it, reflected on it, and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that happened. Or I should have said this. And like, you don't have to be in a negative way when you express your emotions, but you gotta let people know how you feel, because if not, they will take advantage of that because they don't know. They're thinking
Right.
you okay with it, but really you're not.
Right. And it's okay to have a conversation if it needs to be had at a
Mm-hmm.
later time or whatever.
Right.
If your feelings start to change or whatever, just say what's on your mind, say how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't cover up anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. Not me. I
Right.
can't. And I try to do my best with um just how I make someone feel, because I'm very frank.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very upfront, and people can probably take that as as a jab to them, or
Mm-hmm.
like what so I have to be careful and watch that too. And I know that because sometimes when you just an honest person, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it can come off
All
just
wrong. Yeah. My
all
daughter's like
wrong.
that. She's very blunt. And she's only 17, but she's been like that ever since she was little.
Mm-hmm.
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 So I
Yeah,
definitely
that's the
understand.
word.
Teachers used to always think that she was disrespectful. Then I have to go ask what the situation was. I'm like, well, what did she do? She told you how she felt and she told you the truth. But then it's crazy because at the end of the day, like through the school year, teachers realize, oh my God, I love her. But it's just how she come off. And
Yeah.
people are not used to that, because that's another thing, hiding your emotions, sweeping how you feel under the rug. And that stems from generations before. I know we talked about that in the podcast. I mean, before. All that plays a part in your self-care. You just have to be aware of it. Once you're aware of it, your life will change.
Yep, that's true.
Hmm.
You're gonna have your days, your ups and downs, but
Hmm.
my God, it's like, sit down for a second. Go,
Hmm.
just go have some fun. Oh, that's self care. Just I like, spending time with friends,
Hmm.
doing fun stuff to take your mind off whatever. And then sometimes, just spending time alone,
Ooh.
just to
Ooh.
recharge energy from people.
Yeah.
Going back, my time alone is um my time alone is when I'm watching my shows or something I like on
Hmm.
TV. So that plays a part in my time alone. But other things, like if we do things as a family, or if we're have somewhere to be that's fun, or we doing it as friends or whatever, like that's part of self-care too, just fun
Right.
and smile. Because we both silly and we like to laugh and crazy stuff. So I know I'm crazy.
Well, at least you know. At least
So
you know you're not psychotic crazy. So
enough people have told me, like, girl, you crazy. I'm like, I know it. I guess that's just me.
and it's okay
Have-
to be alone. Y'all need to realize that too. It's okay to be alone. And many women don't want to be alone. They feel like they can't be alone. But baby, once you realize you can be alone, ooh, honey, it is so peaceful.
But you gotta have that self happiness though.
Right.
You have to find that, because you have to be happy while with being alone. You have to get to a point where you don't need
Nobody
somebody
else to
around
make you. Ooh, girl, say that.
all the time.
You have to make yourself happy. And once you tap into making yourself happy, baby, that's why. And that goes along with those affirmations. What are you saying to yourself? I say, I know two of mine as far as self-care. I may have more. Like I said, I listen to them, I don't even write them. But, I am so happy and grateful now that I am worthy. I am so happy and grateful now that I love myself. You have to say stuff like that to yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. That's part of self-care too. Talk to yourself. You ain't crazy. That's speaking life into yourself. That's part of self-care.
Right. And stop listening to other people, talk you off of, your past. Because we all know, we all have intuition. Right. And we all know what we have a passion for. It could be more than one. Right. Anything that's related to your path and what you want to do. So a lot of times with your different passions or what you're creative at goes hand in hand a lot of times anyway. Because it represents who you are.
Right.
And again, I had people in my ear every time. I guess my dream was too big for them to listen to, girl.
Ooh, that's one of them. You gotta lead them where they at.
What you mean? It just I don't know about that. I'm like, what you mean you don't know about it?
It ain't really for you to know about. I'm just telling you. But I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway.
But you know what? They were telling the truth when they made the comment they don't know about it. Of course they don't. Because they don't know my path. They don't know what's
not their vision.
That's why.
It's yours.
They're right. That's why they are absolutely correct. I don't know about that. Oh, you know what? You're right. So that's how we have to start taking it. Next time somebody tells us, or you tell somebody you have a big dream or whatever your goals and dreams are,
right?
And they say, I don't know about that, and you say, you know what? You right.
You are absolutely right, baby. They're gonna look at you like you're dead in the headlights.
Right.
And it's so funny that you said that, because that's something that I had was gonna say too, about don't let people tell you what you're supposed to be doing in life. Like if you have a dream and a passion and a goal, because we all have a purpose, we all have a gift, right? You have to walk in that gift, and don't let other people deter you because they don't see the vision.
Exactly. You will run into things like that. It's just, we just have to do better. We have to do better.
Journal more. I'm saying, let them thoughts out.
Exactly. Right. We just have to treat ourselves better. We have to put ourselves first.
Yes. Y'all. Love you. You are important. You are kind. What was that movie? What she said was for real. I can't even think of the movie now, y'all.
I like to say, I like to put my kids first. I mean, yeah, and I'm not, they come, that's a default.
Right.
But I'm just saying, we, putting ourselves first, we have to make sure that we're healthy.
Right. And it's so
Period.
funny that you said that because I ran into, I mean, it's been probably last year. Um, the school I was walking at, when I walked the parking lot and stuff, definitely really before I started really going to the mountain. However,
Right.
it was this older woman. I overheard a conversation she was having with this gentleman, and she
Mm-hmm.
was saying she all her life she raised her kids. She never had time for herself, so her out there walking was time to herself. And I was like, wow, that's really sad. Like we as women, we need to really work on that. Yeah, your kids, you need to take care of them, but you need to make sure you have time for yourself while taking care of your children. You have to make that time, even if you got to schedule it and say, whoever you have, Tiffany or whoever, I'm just naming somebody. Do you mind watching them if they're small? Take time out for yourself. You have to. So that just made me, because she looked like she was in her 60s. So I'm saying all this time. And she was saying really she was just not getting to a point where she can live her life. I was like, wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is something. That's why I'm like, no. I got to live now. I'm in age 30s. I got to live. I'm living now. I see, but she is she's speaking. She's kind of speaking words of wisdom, telling her story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And basically, just there was a message in there, like again, reminding to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you take that time.
Right.
She's not old where she can't. I'm just saying.
Right. But I was just, wow, like she had to be in her, I don't know her exact age. She like she was in her 60s, but I'm just like, man, you just not living your life. And she was saying she raised her kids, then she had to raise her grandchildren. So I was like, wow, like no ma'am, no sir. And when we say live your life, not just going out to eat with your friends or going to the movies. That's good too, because it kind of relaxes your mind, but go on vacations. Yeah, what's the new thing now? Go out, get outside. People outside now. Go outside. Take you a trip.
What's the new thing? That's new to be outside?
Yeah, that's the new saying now. I'm outside. We outside. Because of COVID, the last 2 years, people were in the house. So the new thing now is we outside.
Who's saying that, Kiki?
On social media.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I must have been in a cage. See, I've been away from y'all.
There's nothing wrong. And I haven't gotten to a point where I go on, I make my post, and I have to because, business. But, babe, I log in, make my post, might like a couple of, and comment on a couple. Then I'm off of it. Because you cannot, baby, some of that stuff on there had you depressed and questioning yourself. It ain't even your situation. I'd be like, So yeah, that's the thing now. We outside. I'm outside. But I need y'all to really be outside. What's on your bucket list? Where you want to go, where you want to visit. Go
hang out with nature.
Yes. Try restaurants you have never tried before. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that, because I go to the same places because I'm so comfortable with it, the atmosphere, the vibe. But I'm like, you know what? Other places got vibe. Let me go try other places. Right? The food might actually be good there too. So
other places got vibes for real. I heard other places got.
And it is good to go alone.
Right.
I used to do that a lot. I used to go to the movies, a lot by myself. So some of the crazy stuff started happening. They were shooting up movie theaters, and I was like, babe, I can't go there by myself.
Like, watch that movie. Girl. Another thing, like, girl, I'm saying being around people that can make you laugh. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Like, I love it when you can sit around and just make each other laugh because somebody is stupid.
Yes.
Somebody is stupid tonight. You hear me?
Yes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good for your soul. You'll feel so much better.
Right.
So much better.
Ooh, Lord, I know I be around here cutting up. Don't let me when I'm sleepy. That's when it
girl,
comes
you too. That must be a lot of people then, because babe, when I'm sleepy, I'm liable First of all,
Oh,
to talk your ears off, and I don't even know half the time what the hell I'm talking about. And then it just be a little like, My daughter be like, what is wrong? Oh yeah, you sleepy. I be like, yeah. I start talking about some off the wall stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
right.
I
It's
be like, girl, you see them? You see that T on the wall? What? Yeah. You don't see that dot? That man walking down the street? What are you talking about? Yeah, I just come up with some craziness.
okay, and be tired.
And be tired.
Oh my God. See, it ain't just kids that do it. So, but yeah, just self-care is just finding a way to feel, making sure you're just healthy and whatever that looks like, fill yourself up with happiness.
Right.
And I know it's easier. It could be easier said than done. In some cases, probably most.
Right.
But that's why
it took us a while to get here at this point, the way we're talking. So
right. And then finding people to
right.
surround yourself with. That's what I mean about depending, like people who's you constantly arguing with, bickering about, or can't resolve issues like an adult that we are, or whatever, like you can't, the trust isn't there, or whatever the case may be. It's like
gossiping too. When people call you with gossip, that's self-care too, y'all.
Right. Just evaluate that and just address that. Just take a step back and look and just evaluate. We have to do that at times. Just like how you evaluate that you don't need to be paying this bill anymore, or you don't need this service anymore, or whatever. It's like sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
With ourselves.
And self-care is talking to yourself. People be saying, girl, you crazy talking to yourself. I am. Self. Listen here, girl. You have to do that. And that is okay. Don't worry about what people say about you. Hell, talk to yourself. Figure out what you need to do for you. Because you are important.
Right. And then see what happens. Try helping somebody. Smile at somebody.
Yeah. And give somebody a compliment. Hey, how you doing? I did that yesterday at a dealership. And this man was so shocked. And I told the woman to my right, because he was on my left, we just talked like, hey, how you doing? He looked like, huh? And see, people not used to that. And she was like, what's wrong with him? I said, no. I said, people not used to it. And she was like, you know what? You're right. She said, I do the same thing. And people look at me like I'm crazy. I said, well, keep letting them look at you like you're crazy. But you keep doing what you need to do for you, because that's making you feel good. And then at the end of the day, it might rub off on them. They might go tell their next destination. They might say, hey, how you doing? Or compliment somebody. So, you just never know.
Right. After they done got rude with you or cussed you out.
Right.
They pulling out from the parking lot, like you said, going to the next destination and gonna act. Hey, how you doing? Probably don't even. Probably gonna.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people don't get that at all, because people go their day-to-day life, and life happening every day and every second and every minute, and most people never get asked, how are you doing today? You doing good? How are you? Have a good day. Like, what? So that goes a long way. I say try it. Try it, y'all, and see what it do for you, for your spirit.
Yeah. It'll feed it. It'll feed that soul. I'm just speaking from experience. Don't mind me.
Right.
Serious. Like,
self-care is mind, body, and soul, baby. And even finance. So we got to take care of that too.
And you got to take care of that now. You got to get down on y'all knees. Take care of that. What? I'm talking about.
You gonna have these 4-pass collection plates.
Okay. We all need to be passing some for ourselves.
Exactly.
I need it back, please.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. I need the gay. I need
Right.
to take a meal collection. But I'm just saying.
See, we're laughing, y'all. It's good for the soul. It is good.
And sometimes you have to make light out. Sometimes if I feel when I can't say anything positive, or sometimes I just have to laugh because it's so crazy or ridiculous, or however I may really, really feel. I'll just laugh.
Exactly. Something wrong with it.
But yeah, I'm done playing with people and things that don't mean any good for me.
Don't align, baby. Let them align with you, baby. The alignment is important. I hear you, girl.
Cause I'm done. I can't. I'm. We just have to help one another, encourage one another to make that a priority. Right. I don't. I mean, if you need to set an alarm clock, I don't know. But you need to remind yourself. We need to remind ourselves, continue to remind ourselves and remind one another, self-care, 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 self-care.
Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Don't get, and it's I want to say don't get lost, because sometimes it's easy to get lost. Because once again, you held in everybody else's situation and not your own. So you got to remember who you are. That's a part of self-care. Remember what are your goals? What are your dreams? And then people are not aligning with that. Baby, listen. I can't deal with you right now. We can't hang right now. I've gotten to that point. That's why my circle is very, very small.
Yeah, I got to keep it that way, because dealing with too many people, again, too much of my energy, or it just feels like your energy is getting pulled. And like I said, you're dealing with different personalities, and it's like, no, I'm good. I am good. I am good.
And with you saying no, that's a part of self-care too. You have to be able to say no with no explanation. And I used to say no, and then I had to explain why I said no. Now it's like, no. I ain't even got to explain why I'm saying no. It's no.
That's why, that's what I was saying like earlier, like I'm not, if I know that I'm, no, I'm not, I can't keep explaining myself. That's, again, you're taking up too much energy. Why do I have to do this with you? Why can't you just start to understand for yourself, like, everyone else in my life,
right,
or whoever in my, like, that's what I want to say sometimes, but the answer, I already know the answer. It's just like, come on. Like, I'm not gonna keep doing this. Like, I'm not living my life. I don't care what you saying or who said or what said. Say it. Say it and be gone.
Yeah.
I don't even care. At this point, I don't even care what type of person you think I
am. Girl, that's how, baby. Okay, you think that? Oh, that's right, baby. Because I know who I am. That's nothing. You have to know who you want. You know who you are, baby. People can say whatever they want to say. Everybody has a right to their opinion, but that don't mean you have to take it. Heck, shoot. Like my daughter said, at your big age, you got to let people go. At your big age, it's okay. Baby, let them go. Because at the end of the day, they hurting you, and you're hurting yourself, not realizing you're hurting yourself.
Yep. So, all right. Well,
this was good.
I like it. I love it. And our men too, self-care, because if you're anything like my other half, trying to rip and run and take care of family and do all this, I had to remind him, hey, self-care. Self-care. That's what I said to him. honey, though, girl, them clippers got the going. Them toenail clippers got the nail clippers or whatever got the going. Girl, back in the habit, and if he falls off of exercise, and girl, get back exercising, making sure whatever, look, fresh haircut and everything. I'm like, okay, you listening?
That's why y'all married. That's why he chose you, because baby, you got to have women like that, and a man has to have a woman like that to let them know, okay, I see you holding the household down, but at the end of the day, baby, you got to take care of you so you can take care of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So
men battle with a lot too, on a daily basis. For one, if you're African American, we deal with, they deal with a lot on an everyday basis just being an African American. So,
and
and
then focus on each other, like, and the ones who are in relationships. A wise person told me, if you focus on one another instead of yourself, that's how you're supposed to focus on your spouse. And not, we get, what you gonna do for me? What about what about me? What about me? What about me? Focus on that spouse, so you can then they'll now if they don't,
yeah, I don't have that's a whole nother podcast, baby. We don't know why you got married, why you said yes. So that's a whole nother situation. And I'm not married, but I once was, so I definitely relate. But yeah.
But
who child?
Like I said, laughter is good for the soul.
On that note, I think I'm gonna pour me some wine, and that's okay, y'all. Get you some wine, baby. Whatever your choice, your preference. You don't drink, get you some sparkling water,
ginger ale or
something. Use your imagination, baby. But that'll relax you. Sit on your porch or something.
The deck, the hallway. I don't know.
Your car. Go to your car. I had to do that. Like, go to your car. Shoot. They come out to your car, drive off. Go sit in the parking lot. I've done that too. Hell, you got, baby.
Wait a minute.
Whatever
Wait a minute. Make sure you turn your blinkers on so they will definitely see that you are leaving out. I'm exiting out the neighborhood.
Okay.
I ain't even flexing. I'm gone. But yeah. So me and this. Well, no, not me and the wine. Drink and drive. We ain't promoting all that. Right. Hey, now, stay in the house. Walk. Get behind no wheel. Seriously, that's
right.
But I just, since that came up, real talk. Don't do that.
Yes. Please.
But anyway, all right. Well, it has been real, and I'm getting ready to go practice what we just preached.
Amen to that. I'm definitely about to go meditate.
So look, I'm getting ready to go continue doing what we just preached. Okay. But any last words for our lovely listeners?
You know what? Something I wanted to mention, and I don't know how people are gonna take it, but sometimes when you find yourself frustrated, stressed out, sis, you might just need to get you some. To be honest, that's the last little note. Make sure you take care of you. Say affirmations.
It's human. It's natural.
I'm telling you, because that's a whole nother. Okay. However, yes, that's a part that plays a role. But yes, find you some affirmations, some self-care affirmations, and repeat them to yourself on a daily. And just do what you need to do for you. Even though you taking care of everybody else and everybody else's situation, but when are you gonna see about you, sis? And it's okay to do that. It's okay to say no. I don't even know no other way to end it or wrap it up. Just love you. You are important. Right. Love you. Because at the end of the day, you don't have nobody but you. Because if you have children, your children don't grow up. They're gonna lead a household supposedly, and you're gonna have you. So supposedly, so love yourself, baby, because yeah, you matter.
Sure, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. But yeah, I definitely agree with that. That, I mean, it's important. Love on yourself. But I do want to mention this. I think this is very important. I want to mention this too. Um, if you need someone to just talk to let it out, find somebody to talk to and let it out. That is part of self-care. You know, we promote mental health. You know what I mean? Just talk, let that out, allow yourself to breathe. Um, you know, I am an advocate for therapy. If you need, if you even if you just don't go to therapy, if you just that person that holds things in and wants people to just know that you have it all together, I'm reminding you it's okay to not be okay. I know we like to maintain how people see us or view us as, you know, strong, especially as Black women. But what I have learned and come to realize is that asking for help when you need help,
Ooh, girl, yeah, that's a good one.
Strength. That's showing strength. Okay. I think not asking for help and allowing yourself to go through and keep falling through, that's showing a sign of, you know, that is weak. You know, because you're keeping yourself there. You're not fighting for yourself. Strong for yourself. So again, that's part of self-care. And like we mentioned, just knowing in the first place why self-care is important, really learning and knowing. That's the start. And then you'll find out what you know, what your thing is for self-care, what you like to do, you know, to care for yourself, to love on yourself for a moment, you know. And again, just feeling when it's necessary, your body will let you know. You'll feel it. So don't wait until just to where you're just run down in the ground. But encourage other people. Let's start that. Start that trend. I challenge you all. I challenge you to embrace and encourage other people to put self-care as a priority. That's like paying a bill. That's like anything else that we stress over that's not even important, probably mostly. But you know, just help lift one another. That's all. You know, let's take care of ourselves, put ourselves first, but you know, let's start caring about one another as well. So
and I want to say something too real quick, darling. When you say talk to somebody, find you somebody, even if you don't want them. Sometimes you want to talk, you want nobody to talk back. Sometimes you just need a listening ear. And if you don't have that person, we are here. That's why it's the mental space. But you need to get it out because it'll make you feel so much better. So I just want to leave that there, because sometimes people are afraid to go talk to other people because they thinking they judgmental or what they gonna think about me, like you were saying. But you need to have somebody in your circle that you're able to just talk to, knowing they're not gonna go run their mouth about the situation, or knowing they're just gonna be a listening ear. And if you feel that you don't have that, you have us. We are your mental space. So
yeah, and we see light through darkness. I mean, remember this always. stars shine in the darkness, right? Stars are shining through that darkness. So just remember that, okay? And with any storm, there's always a rainbow on the other side, even if we can't see it all the time. But it's a rainbow out there somewhere, okay?
Yes.
It's always like on the other side. Self-care and self-love. We are gone. Peace, love, and light. Take care, guys.
Yes, yes.